Alright guys, I'm not going to beat around the bush. This is one of the worst things that could have happened to Bitcoin right now. We are in a lot of shit, and I want to break down for you exactly what I'm seeing here. How bearish is this? Is the dump about to get much worse? Unfortunately, I am seeing some indications of that. But I want to show you some really big picture stuff, because overall... Look, let's just get straight into it. There is a lot to go through, guys. Smash up the likes if you're finding these videos useful. In the last video, one of the key things I said is that we've got to reclaim that $44,000 level. And we didn't. We ended up seeing a little bit of a pump, which I was anticipating, but it only pretty much ended up being as large as the previous pump we saw, right? If we measure this from low to high, that's a 3% move. The previous pump that we saw was also roughly a 3% move. So we really didn't make much progress there. And, one of the things that I actually, and there's a lot that's bad with this chart, but one of the things that I want to point out to you guys, which you probably haven't noticed by now, is that Bitcoin actually was in a descending channel, right? I was talking about this before and how these are usually bullish, but just keep an eye on it. We've ended up falling below that channel now, and generally this is a pattern where you trend upwards, then you slowly move down. But yeah, I mean, if you shit the bed and drop below that kind of range, you're in trouble, and so this shows us that our dump has significantly accelerated now. It's actually gotten faster, which, again, I mean, it's not giving me any extra confidence in this market right now, right? It's just not something that I'm totally comfortable seeing. And the problem here is that we've continuously had support levels fail, right? We had this level right here. If I show it to you on this chart, we had the $44,000 level up here. We didn't even use it. Like, we straight up didn't even use it. We did use it on this occasion right here with this pump, but I don't know, this isn't the, it didn't end up working. We failed 43, we failed 42. Now our final level that I've had drawn on this chart since a few videos back is this green line that actually intersects with the red line. We've moved down a little bit faster than I thought we would, but this is an area of support. There are no indicators that offer support in this range, though. If we look at the daily, no indicators that I use, obviously. I mean, obviously there are going to be some. The daily Ichimoku cloud, this is now looking at like a very, very clear confirmation that we've been rejected from this cloud. It really sucks, because I was actually anticipating that the trend would have continued higher, and I still think that there's a chance to recover it. Bear with me, and I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. It is quite a shame. Ethereum obviously dropping harder than Bitcoin, right? Because Bitcoin, generally when Bitcoin rises, Ethereum is going to rise a little bit more explosively. But the flip side of that, which we've been talking about for years on this YouTube channel, is that when Bitcoin drops, Ethereum tends to drop harder as well. So, again, definitely looking like quite a shame. I mean, I'm quite happy with it because, as you guys know, I was able to close my trade right at the very top. It's actually extremely impressive how close to the top it was that I closed the trade, especially when you consider, how much the price has dropped down by now. That's 14% multiplied by my leverage, which was 8 times leverage. I can't even do the math on that, but that's like an extra 100% profit that I wouldn't have if I didn't close the trade yet. So very, very well chosen. And again, if you want to jump inside a VIP, take advantage of our more than half price discount that we're running, then check these steps out on screen right here. But like I said, there is absolute carnage in this market right now, and one of the things that I really think is quite important to look at now is, where are these indicators before we start talking about the bullish side, because there is still a bullish side. And, obviously when things like this happen and people get really scared, I'm actually jumping in wondering, how can I profit off this? There's a lot of fear, there's a lot of irrationality, there's a lot of emotions just running crazy in the market right now, just like a bunch of chickens that have had their heads chopped off, just fucking running around. For the opportunist, sorry vegans, for the opportunist, this is going to be a huge time, and I really want to make sure that I'm capitalizing on that. And of course, I'm going to tell you how I plan on doing so. Fear and greed index, of course, we do need it to update, but it was at 32, probably going to be way lower when it updates. I want to see it way below 30. The lower it is, the better, because well, again, I'm going to talk about the bullish stuff in a minute. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's first look at these indicators. The 1 hour Ichimoku cloud, quite heavy resistance. We've already been rejected by it right here. I was talking to you guys about that in yesterday's video. The 4 hour Ichimoku cloud has now closed up completely and become resistance. It's nothing worrying right now, but the problem, and this is the overarching issue with Bitcoin right now, is that if Bitcoin does manage to mount another attack to the upside now, which I think is entirely possible, it's going to have resistance again. not only is it going to have resistance, but this recent memory that's been imprinted on us now of, you know, kind of rising up, breaking up massively, and then losing it all, is going to be quite a recent memory, right? So you have to start asking yourself, well, where are people going to start looking to take profits? You know, because a lot of people are probably going to think, you know what, I bought my Bitcoins around like 37,000. I don't really want to hold on to it anymore. If we rise up to about 42, 44, perhaps I can expect some resistance there. Maybe I should take a little bit of my profits off the table. I just feel like we have a better chance of seeing more selling pressure if we end up rising up. And that's one of the main things that I want to focus your attention on in this video now, is that, see, every level here that we had as support previously, we're going to now probably encounter as resistance. Nothing is guaranteed. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not some whiz kid or whatever, but this is how the analysis generally works, right? Generally, if you found support at a place, you're probably going to find resistance there if you fall below it. And so, you know, we've got this $42,000 level right here. I have to expect it's going to offer some resistance. It certainly did in the past. So I don't know, you know, what might make you think that it wouldn't again if we tackle this area again. And then again, the very same point for the 44K range, and God forbid even the 46K range. And this was very, very hard to break. And so, you know, getting that rise up now, it's just a lot more complicated because we've lost all of that. And again, at that very same time, what is momentum showing us? Look at that. I mean, it's already rejected us right here on the 4-hour time frame. Now, granted, the 4-hour EMA ribbon is really far away from the current price. It's about $2,000 away, but that's only because we've been selling so aggressively. And so again, even if we end up rising up, these you know, lines are just, you know, we're going to end up meeting them again like this. And again, you guys know the deal. Every time we hit these ribbons, generally, I mean, as support, as resistance, right? Over here, I'm talking about resistance, but back here, we were using it very nicely as support, right? So this is a very, very useful indicator. And if you're not sure how to use it or how to get it, then please do me a favor and just type this in the YouTube search bar now in order to watch my free tutorial on how to get this indicator and how to use it. It's one of my favorites. You guys know that I don't actually complicate my analysis with many indicators. At most, I only ever show you 2, maybe 3 indicators per video, possibly 4 on rare occasions, but I'm super streamlined, super straightforward with what I do. And so if I do use an indicator, you know that it's past a very extensive screening process, so to speak, where I'm very selective, I'm very tough to impress when it comes to analysis. And this indicator has very much impressed me over the years. I've been using it now for nearly 5 years, so I'm pretty happy with it. Definitely something to keep in mind is the resistance up ahead. I've shown you it with the momentum, with the Ichimoku cloud. You know, at daily chart as well, we've got momentum right there, which is probably going to be weighing on the market a little bit. We're starting to get these bearish crossovers now. You know, we had a window of opportunity, and unfortunately, it looks like it might be gone. And here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I want to switch tone a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about why, you know what, it might not be so bad. So look, one of the key things that's really playing in our favor right now is that this dump is very strong. It's falling right into a pretty decent support level. This is a support level that's held since the end of January. We're now, you know, at the beginning of April. So it's stood some test of time. If we look at it, you know, the time frame we were using it stretched about 51 days, but if we end up using it now, we're looking at about an 80-day diagonal support line. This is quite an important support line, and if we lose it, it's going to be really bad. There's no sugarcoating it. It's a pretty bad. I mean, it's already really bad as it is, but it would be pretty horrific if we lost this level. I would then look at falling significantly lower down to this next line. Let me read the price target for you there. That would put us at about 37,000. But again, I don't even think these levels would hold. Just because we've had this swing high now, you know, this has effectively reset the trend, reset the downtrend to where if we are indeed going to continue it and drop much, much lower, far below $30,000, we've had the correction now to enable that. That's the super bearish side of things, where and I have a crazy price target for you. I don't even think we're going down there. It's $5,000, but I'm going to show that to you in just a minute as well, guys. Smash the likes if you appreciate the drama here. Again, it's not even about the drama. It's just like I'm taking what's going on in the market, grounding us, bringing us down a couple notches, reminding us that, look, this shit's going back to, you know, to 70K. It's going to 69,000, right? I mean, I can't say that for sure because I can't see the future, but I am very sure overall that we are going back up to that all-time high and significantly higher than that, right? I mean, I shouldn't need to say that. eventually I think that's going to happen, but in between, yeah, we gotta keep level-headed right here. So here's this support level. It intersects with 2 levels, so I do like that. That's nice. The other thing that I like is if we look at how aggressively this dump has moved, right, from our high to where we are right now, it's taken just over 2 weeks to drop by 16%. So fairly significant price action, right? It's definitely not slow. We have managed to move down by quite a bit. And again, the fear and greed index is at pretty good readings overall, in my opinion, right? I mean, a reading of 32 is decent, especially considering this is probably going to drop a lot lower by the time it updates within about 6 hours. And if that is the case, well, we're looking at quite a low price that's down at support levels, that's sold off aggressively, right? Even though I just said, right, if I zoom out, I just said that this could be, like we're in a downtrend, we've had a major correction, then we continue the downtrend. Even if that's the case, within each of these legs, we need corrections anyway, right? So take a look at this, right? Within this one big downtrend leg, we had corrections, and they weren't the most obvious corrections, but here was a spike up that we had, here was another one, here was a much more obvious one. This is obviously a very big example of what I've just demonstrated over the last 20 seconds. So we have them with all shapes and sizes, and we have them to the upside and the downside, right? Because right now we're trending lower. We can't keep falling down lower in a straight line, right? I mean, we need to have corrections, whether that looks a little bit like this and then down, or whether we recover and we start, talking about really explosive price targets and that lotion comes right out of the drawer again. I don't know, but generally we are going to be getting these kind of corrections even when we're in trends like this. So I'm still expecting that Bitcoin is going to be able to find some sort of bounce relatively soon, purely because it hasn't had one yet. And then that is always very important. I say this all the time. If we're rising up too quickly, I'm calling for a correction where we drop down. But if we're dropping down too quickly, I also call for a correction where we rise up. It's the very same thing that I did with my Ethereum trade, where I noticed that this thing moved up way too quickly. So that's why I want to close my position. And obviously that turned out to be very much the right decision. So, it's all about being able to position yourself as a contrarian when necessary, not all the time, but you always want to have that element in your mind. And of course, it's not an easy balancing act. You got to know what you're doing, but that's what we're teaching you inside of the 𝗪𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏 Academy course. Not only are you going to be taught that inside of the 𝗪𝗪𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Academy course, which is a course that only I recorded, by the way, no other teachers, where I teach you absolutely everything I know about trading analysis from A to Z, but you're going to see me implementing those same lessons in VIP when you jump inside, because most members, depending on which plan you take, are going to be getting that course for free. And then of course, I just want to remind you guys, because it is more than half price off, you're getting a huge offer, but we're also giving extra time on top of your membership, completely free of charge, no charge to you. So not only are you getting more for the same price, you're actually getting more for less than half price. Huge offer. So definitely do check that out. The first link in the description down below, the steps are going to be down there. You guys already know the deal with Bybit as well. By far my favorite exchange, the only one I've been using for years. Check them out with the link in the description down below. Ignore that awkward disclaimer on the top. My VPN is not switched on right now. Probably is switched on, it's just switched to the US, which is pretty stupid actually. But yes, of course, if you're in a certain country, you might need a VPN. No comments on that. I do it myself because I don't like financial oppression, but I don't know, it's up to you guys. You can't come blaming me if anything goes wrong. But yeah, I think that's a very important note, is that yeah, we are looking at potentially re-entering some of these support areas right now. Here is Ethereum. Altcoins have probably totally shit the bed. I think Luna's just off the cards right now. Yeah, it's dropped down to that support area. This is kind of the final support area I'm seeing. I actually think this is a phenomenal entry level. I think this is a great entry level if we look at its all-time high. That's 40% up from here. Very aggressive. And one of the things that I'm actually very tempted to do is just kind of look at, is there an interesting Fibonacci retracement going on here? Because we've dropped by quite a bit on this chart for Bitcoin. There should be something good with the Fibonacci's at some point relatively soon. So we've just filled the 0.5 level over here. 0.6 lies at $40,000. Yeah, we failed the 0.6 with this retracement, and this was quite an important retracement in my opinion, so that's a shame. I'm just gonna leave it like this. That's showing me that, yeah, potential bottom could be about $39,000 thereabouts. What does that line up with? Does that line up with any of these support areas? Yeah, kind of does. Not perfect. It's not close enough, but it's there. Let me draw this again, just see if it's not close enough, to be honest. I'm not really super happy with that. It's hard, man. It's hard to find support here at the moment. The good news, like I said, though, is that we have sold off really aggressively. And again, you know, these things, they don't last forever. We need to get bounces. We need to get relief rallies. It doesn't mean that we're going to be able to resume that uptrend. Well, it depends on how hard we punch these resistance levels up ahead. You know, if and when we do get that bounce, there is, like I said, going to be a lot of resistance up ahead. And if we make quick work of it, then good. You know, as long as we manage to get above 46k, crucially, this is the main level to beat. I think we're fine. I'm not even worried about this high right here. This is almost just arbitrary. It's almost random, in my opinion, you know, the way I'm seeing it. But that 46k level, that is something to be aware of. You know, that is something which could definitely cause some problems for the market. We're also seeing now that rejection that I was looking at for Ethereum, where Ethereum's dropped quite a bit against Bitcoin. Again, same thing I was mentioning towards the beginning of this video. Cardano has now fallen below its $1 support area. So yeah, we're back in very, very dangerous territory for Cardano. There is no support here. You know, I mean, if it wicks a little bit and so on, that's fine. But I mean, yeah, the last time Cardano fell, it dropped all the way down to about 75 cents, which is like a 25% drop from here. It's absolutely huge. That can very well happen again, and I just want you guys to be aware of it. You know, for other coins, let's take a look at Solana. It's actually sitting at 618 support right now. I think it's going to be at the mercy of the rest of the market, though. You know, if the rest of the market is looking the way it is right now, you know, I can't be too optimistic about whether Solana will be able to hold levels like this. Let's take a look at Phantom as well. Yeah, it's right at the very, very bottom again, just on the brink of a big sell-off. Seems to be the case for a lot of the market. You know, Bitcoin, no, I think that Bitcoin does have some support, but the thing to keep in mind is that even if Bitcoin does interact with support a little bit, even if it kind of consolidates at support, these altcoins now, because people are so fearful, you know, as represented by the fear and greed index or your own gut, you're probably feeling it a little bit. You know, I think there is some argument to be made that these coins could completely shit the bed, and like half, I mean more than half. I think we're at one of those stages right now. So you guys know my opinions on these coins. I mean, I'm not in them. I talk about them, I trade them, but I have no emotional attachment to them. The only coins I do care about are Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's it. Obviously some of the other altcoins like 𝗙𝗢𝗥𝗙𝗦 and 𝗧𝗢𝗥𝗙𝗚 that I've held and bought a while back, although they both tanked massively. Again, because they're small communities, it's a massive shame. I'm fully expecting them to recover, but only in a bull market, right? Coins like 𝗙𝗢𝗥𝗙𝗚 or 𝗧𝗢𝗥𝗙𝗚, they just don't perform well in markets like this. Same as coins like Phantom, Solana, Luna, fucking everything else. They all perform badly in bear markets, and that is something which is obviously concerning. And 𝗧𝗢𝗥𝗙𝗚, my god, just got so unlucky because they launched literally at the top, which is just a horrible run of bad luck. But it happens, and like I said, I'm still looking at them. It's worth giving, you know, I just want to give you an update on this because I haven't spoken about it for a while. Still holding it, nothing I can do. As soon as this market turns bullish again, I am going to be expecting them to rise up massively. And the good news is, again, because they're so small, they can recover their losses very quickly. You know, we are talking about two YouTube community driven coins. YouTubers have a lot of power, you know, like with crypto, with moving stuff around, with dare I say even market manipulation and so on. YouTubers have a lot of power. Doesn't mean they use it. Obviously, you know, you can't break the law, but it's worth knowing that, like, you know, a lot of the things that blow up they're blowing up because of hype. And I don't think there's any class of crypto people that have more influence than the YouTubers. Maybe people like Michael Saylor, they don't really count, they're exceptions, but beyond that, Twitter doesn't have this kind of pull. Instagram is fucking unknown. Telegram, yeah, you get your whale communities, but YouTube's where everybody's at, where everyone's trying to get big information. So look, I'm just putting that out there. That's why I invested in those projects, and that's why I fully expect them to recover to the all-time highs that they both set. So that's my piece on them. There you go though. I hope you have enjoyed this video. You know exactly what to do. If you have, do me a favor and smash up the likes. If you have enjoyed this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. Again, if you want to jump inside a VIP, take advantage of at more than half price offer with an extra time added onto your membership completely free of charge as well, including even free access into our full-size academy courses depending on which plan you take. It's all linked in the first description, in the first link in the description down below. Right next to that link, you will also see the steps to join 𝗓𝗡𝗡𝗧 VIP should you be interested. And the other thing that I want to just remind you guys about for our yearly offer is that we've been around for a really long time. This group has in some form or another been running since 2017 actually. It's going to be 5 years for this group running, I think in like 3 months, so not too long, and then we're going to cross that 5 year mark, which is absolutely mind-blowing. So we've been around for a while. We're not going anywhere. The team is only improving and so on. So there's a lot going on behind the closed doors here, and again, you can see it all by checking out that link. If you have enjoyed this video, again, you know what to do, and I'll see you all in the next one. Hopefully I can give you a more positive update soon, but I'm just going to be telling you what I'm seeing in these markets, and yeah, looking for support right now. That's what we need. That's what we're close to. I'm optimistic. No, I'm not done. Why am I making this outro so prematurely? I've actually got a lot more I need to talk about. Bear with me. There is also this big line right here. I think it's already drawn on this chart. Yeah. There's also this big line, this big pattern right here, which Bitcoin has been using for a while. If we really zoom out, I've actually drawn this from the peak in 2017 when Bitcoin hit $20,000. This channel has seen Bitcoin, finding resistance and support now for quite a while. This channel has been relevant for 470 days, or well, I don't want to go that far, but yeah, I mean 384 days, from point to point. This support level is important, and it lies in the low $30,000 range. So if we lose this, we are in deep shit. That would be the worst thing that could possibly happen, in my opinion. And again, I would be looking at least, like a 23,000, maybe $20,000 Bitcoin, maybe even lower than that, maybe something as low as 18 or 16. I don't really know. That's all, sell my house and buy Bitcoin territory. It would be absolutely insane if we managed to get Bitcoin that low. You best believe I would be buying if that happened. But yeah, for now, we are still in this range, and I will have to expect that the support level holds as an absolute worst case. If it doesn't, I'm not seeing anything for Bitcoin until at least 20K, primarily because if you look at what happens between this yellow line right here and the 20K area right here, there's absolutely no trading history that's ever taken place in this range, right? And I can zoom out, like Bitcoin has never traded in this range beyond these two lines right here. So this rise up was very quick. We were definitely anticipating this on the YouTube channel. I actually made one of the biggest profits of my life trading this. Again, that all went inside of VIP as well. So that was absolutely fantastic. But the problem here is that if you do rise up this quickly, and to put it into perspective, it shot up by 40% within 2 weeks. If you do rise up by this quickly, you're not establishing any resistance on the way up. And if you're not establishing resistance on the way up, you sure as shit won't have support on the way down. So that's the kind of problem that we're faced with right now in this market, and that could turn out to be quite disastrous. But if Bitcoin is able to hold this level, I think we're going to be okay. So that's what I'm looking at from there. I just wanted to put this on your radar again, because it is something that I've spoken about in the past, but not recently. And so I just wanted to remind you guys that this pattern still exists. It's still very much relevant. The other version of this is also this pattern right here. This is a much smaller one. It's got the same support level as the triangle that I had drawn on my other chart, as this triangle. Let me show you right here. Same support line, but the resistance line is different. This actually paints a rising channel instead of a descending channel. This is generally a very bearish pattern. And the reason it's bearish is that we're in a downtrend. And we are now temporarily fighting that trend slowly before potentially breaking down again. So price targets for both of these are pretty horrible. I don't even want to talk about it, but we're looking at, I mean, way more than a $10,000 drop, maybe even more than a $20,000 drop. So they're not nice. I don't want to talk about that right now. I not only because I don't think it's necessary, but well, I mean, no, not only because it's unpleasant, but primarily because I don't think it's necessary right now to even talk about stuff like that. But this range is here, and we have now confirmed this resistance level. So this is one of the fears I had with this market, and I was putting it on your radar. You know, back when we were like, I don't know, around here, around the middle of March, something like that is probably when I was talking about it. I don't know, I can't remember, but it is in action. It is confirmed, and it is a bearish. Look, I mean, you love me or hate me, I'm just telling you what it is. It's a bearish pattern. It's a bearish pattern. That's it. There's nothing more than that. And yeah, the price target is pretty horrible. Again, you know, if we find support at these kind of levels, we're fine, but we do need to break this resistance area, and obviously it gets higher and higher the more time goes on. So it kind of takes me back to the original point. I really just need to see how or if we find support, and then, you know, if and when we do find support, you know, what happens with resistance levels? Do we reach these resistance levels? Do we break them? Do we make quick work of them? You know, does the fear and greed index drop massively to tell us that perhaps now is the time that people are really scared and we're at support levels? Maybe it's worth taking up some long positions. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just putting these ideas out there. Obviously, I'm considering them quite carefully, quite seriously, and those updates will go inside of VIP. Actually, just while I'm joining, we've just had a yearly member join us as well, so that's absolutely fantastic. And if you do want to take advantage of what's going on, then again, check it all out with the first link in the description down below, and right there you're going to find the steps on how to join. I really hope you have enjoyed this video. Now for my third or fourth outro of this video, do me a favor and smash up the like, subscribe to the bell, all the good stuff, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.